Good afternoon, Mr. Manti. Good afternoon, all. We'll just wait for 1 more minute for Mr. Panda to join, and we begin shortly. Thank you for your patience. Namaskar. Uh, Pandavu Namaskar, Mantevu Namaskar. May we begin now? I request you all to please kindly switch on your videos, Mr. Manoranjan Panda and Mr. Vikash Mahanti. We can begin shortly. Am I audible? Sort of, if I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah, I hope Mr. Mohanty and Mr. Panda are able to hear me. I've been requesting them to please switch on their videos so that as
Yes.
please do.
You're clear, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Since I am using mobile network, so I'm not switching on my video.
Namaskar, sir.
Do not have the. Okay, now I can see.
Thank you. We'll begin, sir. With your permission, we'll begin now. I welcome Sri Manoranjan Panda, Deputy General Manager, Mechanical Crusher and Conveyor, and Sri Vikas Chandra Mohanty, Senior Manager Mining, for an elaborative session today on the various problem statements provided by NALCO. It's pertinent to mention that as an important economic segment, the mining sector facilitates economic growth, and Odisha is a leading state in terms of the estimated value of mineral production in the country, and it contributes to nearly a quarter of the national output. And as the need of the hour, this mining sector is focusing on the growth opportunities through innovation, and hence Electropreneur Park, which is in partnership with industry partners and academia, has started this mining challenge program. So this was launched, just to give a brief context, this mining challenge program was launched on 9th of September, and the call for applications is open till 9th of October. And the goal of this contest is to invite the large pool of startups and emerging entrepreneurs to come up with very innovative solutions and creative ESDM solutions to solve these predefined problem statements that we have received from our technology partners and from the industry partners. So they can use new areas like this partnership, and this program will give them a platform wherein new areas of co-creation and open corporate innovation between mining industry partners and Electropreneur Park Bhubaneswar, especially in the areas of technology collaboration or investment or the growth of startup business, opportunity in terms of technical interventions, and that ranges across mineral block identifications or the best practices in excavations, sampling, or logistics, supply chain, data analytics, pilferage, and addressing all these problem statements can be done. So solutions that is developed through these challenge contests would be applied to both heavy mining and petrochemical industries and manufacturing industries as well. We understand that our partner companies for this program are for different part of the value chain or sectors, but then the solutions that come out of this problem can solve various problem statements across industries. And I'll just quickly brief about the problem statements that has been mentioned by NALCO. One is the problem statements that we are going to discuss today in this session. One is difficulty in operating heavy earth moving machineries during rainy seasons, that is during the 4 to 5 months, due to extremely poor visibility conditions leading to significant loss of excavation and production. That is one. Next is autonomous and teleoperated haulage by dumpers during force majeure conditions. Then real-time knowledge of ore body being mined out, and unpredictable wear and tear of cable belt, conveyor, rope and belt, leading to frequent stoppage of single line mine production system, which causes significant loss of production. The second being unpredictable failure of poly pulleys along cable belt conveyor, leading to stoppage of conveyor system for pulley changing. So today we'll be discussing in elaborative manner on these problem statements, because when we are publishing these problem statements or the challenges that the startups will be addressing, they need to know what exactly to address. The main purpose of this webinar today is to help the startup gain good insights into what exactly is the problem that they will be addressing. And may I now request Sri Manoranjan Panda. Saurav, would you like, should we go about the key takeaways right now, or should we put that for a later stage?
Ma'am, we can discuss the problem statements. After that, we can.
Yeah, we can take up the questions and discuss on the key takeaways. Yeah, so what I would request is, I request Mr. Manoranjan Panda, who is the Deputy Manager Mechanical of Crusher and Conveyor at NALCO, to kindly address to kindly elaborate on the problem statements that has been listed. Mr. Panda, please. We are not able to hear you. You're on mute. Please unmute yourself. You're on mute, sir.
Right, great.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Manoranjan Panda. I am DJ Mechanical. I am working in the crushing and transportation system of NALCO's Panchpatmali bauxite mines. This is a great initiative, and you have listed our total list of problems, and I will be discussing some of the major ones because there are probably 30, and if I start discussing all the 30, probably the session will be long over. The first one that you have discussed is about the visibility problem. I'll straight away go to the point. And I understand that there are many other agencies who actually can help us in addition to our host STPI, who can actually note these problems and they can come out with some solutions. Is that right? Okay. So the
Yes,
first problem that we are facing is one of the most important problems is the visibility. In this mine, which is at a 1300 MSL, mostly during rainy season, from mid-June to mid-September or sometimes even up to October, we have a lot of cloud and fog. Rain is there, but because of fog and cloud, visibility goes down to like less than 2 meters, 3 meters sometimes. And because of that, excavation is completely stopped. And excavation and also transportation of haulage of trucks with the loaded materials to our ram hoppers, they get completely stopped. Now we have been trying to find out solutions to that, even to such an extent that completely the dumpers cannot move, the loaders cannot spot the equipments where they need to dump, right? So this is one of the major problems. For that, a solution will be actually extremely helpful for not only our mines, but all the open cast mines that are located maybe above 600, 700 MSL, because these problems, they are commonplace. So this is one of the important problems. And on this, before I explain, I mean, if I have been able to communicate this clearly, I would like input from all the people who are attending on this, whether there is any technology available today, whether there are any research going on this area. So this will be very important. This is number one. Should we discuss all the problems and can we will actually come back to a joint discussion on the topics, or should I explain all the problems one by one?
So it's better if you can explain all the problems, and maybe you can suggest, you can also let us know what kind of solutions that you are looking at, maybe, or the already existing ones that you have already checked out. Maybe you have checked some of the solutions that are existing in the market. So if you can discuss that also, that will be helpful for the startups to think something new or innovative, rather than just reinventing what is already existing.
Yeah, got this. Actually, for this problem, we have been brainstorming on this for some years. And so far, we have not got any concrete solution on this. What we are looking at is, irrespective of the conditions, the fog conditions or the weather conditions, the people who operate this equipment, they are totally manually operated. They are highly mechanized equipments, but they are operated individually by skilled operators. Now, when we normally operate it, we see through the windscreen. We are looking for a situation or a technology that can actually give us that visibility, though the operator need not see the thing through the windscreen because it is practically not visible. what we can think of is on the screen, there can be the picture outside the complete picture of the vehicle's position with respect to the road and the area where it has to go. It can come on the screen. That is one way. That way, what will happen is the operator need not look at the windscreen. Instead, it will look at a screen inside the cabin, and from there it can understand its 3D position, its position with respect to the road and where it needs to go. That is for a dumper which is carrying the material. Similarly, for a loading equipment, it has to see the position of the equipment where it has to load, the position of the ore body. So the visibility through using a technology of maybe infrared or laser technology or any sensing technology, the entire 3D space, the picture of the 3D space should come to the operator screen. So with training, he or she will be able to operate the equipment as if they have visibility. That is one requirement. That part will be probably the best. Otherwise, the second thing that can the startups can think of is how do we eliminate the fog? I mean, is there any technology that by spreading something like dry ice or anything wherein the local area, because in a mine quarry, there will be an area of about 100 square meters. That location, there will be multiple equipment operating. Plus, there will be a haul route, maybe it is 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, through which these equipments will pass. If any technology is available that a pilot vehicle moves on through that area and that area becomes devoid of any fog or cloud for some time at least, like if there is any chemical or there is anything that can be sprayed so that the visibility improves at least for 2 hours, then the cycle can be repeated. So these are two lines that is coming to my mind. The basic requirement is that we will be able to safely operate our heavy earth moving machinery equipment for loading as well as hauling. So that is problem number one. Is there any questions on this? I would like to discuss, because this is one of the most important requirements and it can actually help us substantially and all the mines in this country and the world.
Sir, we can take the questions at the last. We can, sir, discuss all the problem statements.
No, I'm not. I'm just asking if there is any doubt on this. I mean,
Okay, sir.
people can ask me because I'll jump to the next. Before that, if any other additional information is required on this requirement, I would like to attend to that. So before I go to the next one. And I would request our Bikas also to add on to this, whatever I have defined. If there is any other dimension he can think of, he can add to it.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monty. Yes, please.
Yeah, as Panda sir explained, the issue is very relevant, and that is the only thing. I mean, these foggy conditions. Last year, we had encountered fog for around 6 months. Mainly, the issue is during the dark hours, but yes, in the daytime also, due to such dense fog, operations either they stop completely or they are quite slow. And for this, we have consulted two solutions. We have conceived two solutions actually. One we had roped in IIT Roorkee. They have a real-time defogging system wherein there's a camera which has a certain mechanism which can defog the images, so that that can be interfaced onto a screen from wherein an operator can have a look what is beyond his dashboard or whatever it is. And also we had consulted companies which have a total guidance system. Although it requires a lot of change in the overall setup, you need a lot of sensors, the survey data needs to be very precise, wherein the entire guidance system will be made. Just like you browse Google Maps on your mobile, the entire mine view will be outlaid on the screen, wherein the operator sees it, and it will be having data of all the other equipment who where they are, how they are going, so that even if the operator sees nothing, another eye will be given to him, which is visualizing everything, the roads, the equipment running on the roads, all those things. But yes, as per the problem is concerned, Panda sir explained it rightly.
Will there be any queries on this particular requirement? It is a very important requirement. So otherwise, we will go to the other problems.
Sir, there is a question in the chat section. Any autonomous vehicle system used in mines now? Um,
Is it a complete autonomous?
Sir, it's just the question is any autonomous vehicle systems used in mines now?
No, we
Yeah,
do
I
not have
think he
any
said
autonomous
yes.
system.
Because you can answer this.
No, as of now, we do not have any autonomous system, but yes, these two problems, the first and the second, therein it is one of our projected solutions wherein if autonomous equipment come in, then maybe they can run dev out of the fog. But as of now, we do not have any autonomous system which controls the equipment.
I hope this answers to Mr. Manikandan's question. Um, uh, if we may go to the next one, just for the information of all, I would like to mention that this session will be recorded, sir, and will be shared on all our online platforms as well as to all the academia and all, wherein we can expect the solutions and the questions later on. Also, the questions that we receive later on, we shall get it clarified from you.
This is actually for problem number 1 in the list. I think
Yes, sir.
that we can tick out.
Sure.
And I'll now ask Vikas to explain the problem number 1, the controlling pilferage in mining areas. Vikas, can you please explain the problem number 1?
Actually, that issue was raised by perhaps somebody from SAIL. Our problems are limited, means from where you started, sir, from 11, from point number 11. 11 to 15, those
Okay.
are all our
Okay.
problems.
Oh, 11 to 21.
15. 15.
Okay,
11
so
to
it's
15.
11 to 15. Okay, fantastic then. I thought these are all NALCO's questions. Okay. So number 12 is autonomous teleoperated haulage by dumpers during force majeure situations. Because please explain this problem to them in detail.
Yes. Uh, Problem number 2 is slightly different than problem 1. But again, this calls for autonomous haulage because there are situations wherein the people can't move into the mine if there's a strike per se. The entire road is blocked. Nobody can go into the mine. So if I have something which can lift the material and dump it to my crusher on my behalf, I don't want to send the operator, but yes, there are equipments which can do the thing, and that thing is taken care. So that is what we meant from this statement. If you have autonomous or teleoperator haulage, teleoperation either from a location which is say 16 kilometers from the site or say 5 kilometers from the site, and this also helps during foggy situations. But basically, for force majeure situation, whenever there's a strike wherein people can't move in, if at that time there is something which can work on our behalf, then that would be better.
Are you basically looking at a complete operatorless system like people use in Australia and other mines? Are
Yes,
you
yes, sir. Yes,
suggesting
yes,
that?
yes, sir.
A system like that is adapted, then I think basically it will eliminate all the operators. And if that system is in place, then why it will be used for emergencies? It will be used for all the time to come.
No, in
So
our case,
basically
sir,
what we're looking at is for all the time to come.
in
So
our
basically
case, sir,
what we're looking at is, okay, what I think of this is, in, okay, in India, whether we have a technology like that, wherein technology like that, wherein we without operator, wherein we without operator. Is
Yeah,
the
Mr.
voice
Panda, I
gone?
think your voice is breaking up. There's some network issue or something. Could you please reiterate what you just mentioned?
Technology like that. Yeah, what I have understood from this is I would like Vikas to actually elaborate on this. But what I have understood from this is essentially if we can use without only us during this, people are not able to this situation can help us in emergencies where people are not able to deep for conditions totally where humans cannot operate. This equipment can operate. This equipment can automatically operate. Can automatically operate. So this is one line. In particular, if we can have a set of equipment which can directly operate if the total mine plan is fair, and which can directly if we can have if the total in Australia I guess without operators they do operate, but whether that technology is available in India, whether startups will be interested in controlling equipment, but they have to take up with a lot of equipment providers, suppliers. It
Yes.
needs technology to be embedded in the equipment, so we need to be also kind of interacting with the manufacturers.
So, totally autonomous haulage systems are non-existent in India as of now. But yes, since the FMS which we own in our mine, that is our model mining systems, they have their own autonomous setup, totally tested and operating in Australia. But if we do not have a complete autonomous haulage system, then teleoperated vehicles wherein some parts, maybe the steering, maybe the engine, which can be controlled remotely with some means what to say, some mods applied after the equipment is done, then we can control some of the things wherein the operator needs some assistance in steering through some a road, then that can be taken care. So basically, sir, wherever people can't go in, either it's a force majeure situation or there's a situation wherein we have a very less number of operators and we can't pull in the operators right away, so there should be a backup arrangement. And that is what
You are looking at a basically a system, hybrid system. I mean, humans can operate, and if required, part of this mechanism can be controlled from remote.
yes, yes, sir, yes, that is what you say.
Yeah, but like it said, it can be completely autonomous as well as it can be a hybrid model. That is what you are looking at, right?
Yes.
That will be a good area to go because in other mines where people are less, I think they are using these systems in difficult areas.
Because in our minds, when we shifted the SMCP, we had a crawler which was operated through a remote only. Nobody was able to, means nobody could take it.
Oh, you mean the transport crawler?
Kind of, sir, kind of. Some systems, yes, in India, those systems are possible, I believe.
I'm sure there will be many questions on this because I hope people ask questions on this and we can clear our position as what is required.
So,
Will there be any questions for this particular requirement of ours?
So, like I said, sir, we will have this one. This webinar is a recorded webinar. So, we have launched the mining challenge contest, and the applications have started coming in. So, as and when they require they have any doubt about the problem statements, they can refer to this webinar and can come up with the questions, which we will relate to you and can get the answers from you, sir.
Great. Okay, so we'll go to the next one then.
Yes, sir.
Real-time knowledge of ore
real
body
time.
being mined out, right? Because please explain this.
Um, as means generally in a mine, we have a ore body model, which is generally prepared in mine planning softwares like SAPAC, Datamine, all those things. This ore body model contains block wise, or you may say location wise, the ore quality details. And this information, although it is documented through maps, it is documented on spreadsheets uh, from the for the geologist and for the mining engineers. But from the operator's perspective, he doesn't know what kind of ore he is handling right now when he's operating an equipment at a place. He doesn't have any information other than his eye judgment, what he can see, what is the color of the material, what is the granularity of the material, but nothing else. So if using means what we had thought of some sort of GPS sensors wherein the real time location having all the three parameters, all the three dimensions, means X, Y, Z, the location as well as the RL of the equipment where he is operating the machine, if that can be interfaced to the block model, on the block model, and that information, if it is conveyed to the operator, then the operator may know that what kind of metal I'm handling. Even if I say that load a good quality material or leave the inferior quality materials, then he can have a real-time view and he can directly use my directions. He can directly contribute to the company's interest if he has a real-time knowledge of what he is mining or what she is mining when it is being in operation. And yes, these such things are in place in India too. Hello.
Yes, Mr. Monte. I think we have a question here. I think Saurav, if you can read out that Mr. I think Mr. Narayan had sent some for had some questions on the country of origin. The belt is used by NALCO in the conveyor, and
Ma'am, there is a question from Narayan Pathwar from Arina Paridhi.
yeah, I'm not able to locate that question. There was some question regarding the pulley and the conveyor. Please, could you please read that out?
Yes, ma'am. Uh, he has asked the country of origin, the belt used by NALCO in the conveyor, and pulley used in conveyors are motorized or central motorized conveyors. And there are a few more questions. The belt cleaners are especially designed or standard?
Have now which I think what Vikas discussed is about something else, right? It was
Yes.
about the real-time knowledge of ore body being mined out. So that we are going to question number 14 then. The
Yes, we
question
can go to
relates
question
to
number 14.
Question of 14.
Yes, because that ore body being that one is discussed by Mr. Mohanty, so we can go
Right.
to.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll discuss about this cable belt conveyor and the problems that we have mentioned here. This is about unpredictable wear and tear of cable belt conveyor rope belt leading to frequent stoppage of single line mine production system causing significant loss of production. Unpredictable failure of poly pulleys along cable belt conveyor leading to stoppage of conveyor system for pulley changing. And the other one is also related, frequent dislodgement of cable belt conveyor along hilly terrain for various reasons. So these 14 and 15, they pertain to one overland conveyor system that we have. At our Panchpatmali bauxite mines, we have a 14.661 kilometer conveyor, which is a single conveyor. It is not in some cases, conveyors are multiple conveyors, connected through different loading points, but this is a single flight conveyor. And it has gone through a long hilly terrain where there are many up sections, many down sections, many vertical curves like catenaries and bros, and many horizontal curves left and right. Now in this conveyor, the specialty of this conveyor is it is a rope hauled conveyor. Traditional conveyors, they only have a belt, generally steel cord belt, which is supported through idlers. The belt does both the jobs. It carries the tension to run. It also carries the drive, and it also supports the materials. Whereas in a conveyor like ours, the rope haul conveyor, we call it the cable belt conveyor. Here, two endless loops of rope, they travel from the drive, and the belt is simply supported using its two forms embedded in the belt. They sit on these two rope loops. So while the rope runs, the belt is carried, and belt doesn't carry much driving tension. It only carries a minimum tension to straighten itself. So basically belt is used as a support platform and carrying platform, and the ropes are used for wear and tear and drive. So in this section, there will be two tension systems, one for the belt and one for the rope. And there is only one such conveyor in our country, that is here, which is a 37-year-old conveyor. Now in this, we have certain issues with the rope and belt wear and tear. Generally, the rope that we use is a 6x25 construction right hand Langsley rope. And these steel ropes, they run on steel pulleys and also polyurethane coated pulleys. And because they run on steel pulleys, they also, and it goes through many fatigue cycles, the rope body eventually wears out. The belt gets replaced in more than 12 years, whereas the rope is gets replaced every 5 years. If there can be a way that these conveyor ropes can have better life, because they are currently running on steel pulleys, can we design lined steel pulleys, which can take a lot of load also, because when a rope carrying about a tension of 37 tons is deflected using steel pulleys, lot of tread pressure comes to these pulleys. That is why we are using hardened deflection pulleys, steel pulleys, where it is simply running on the conveyor line without much load. There polyurethane line pulleys are used. So for majority of it, it is supported through polyurethane coated polyrims, polypulleys. But for the tensioning, for deflecting in the tension area for about 500 meters, it is deflected using hardened steel pulleys. And in this course of operation, the steel pulleys, they go through a lot of reverse bend cycles, which leads to eventual breaking of surface wires through wear and also through fatigue. Now, if we can do anything on these steel pulleys so that they can be light, they can offer a lot of wear resistance and without damaging the rope, then that will actually help enhancing the rope life. When the rope is replaced, we take a lot of time to replace, and it uses up a lot of our production time. So if anything can be done on these areas wherein the rope life can be enhanced, that is one area. Second is, yes, the belt that we currently use, we are physically inspecting the belt twice every month, running the conveyor at low speed. And because it is physically inspected using human eyes, many times the fault conditions on the belt, like cuts on the belt surface because of overfeeding, or these belts also have mechanical joints, clip and spindle joints. And in operation, many times the joints, they get stretched and they need to be replaced. Now, because of that, we have to inspect these belts, entire length of 30 kilometer of belt, twice a month, running the conveyor at a speed of half the rated speed, which also leads to production loss. So if we can have a technology like using cameras or any other sensing equipment, wherein the complete condition of the belt is recorded automatically, and using technology like AI and machine learning, if the problematic areas can be listed from this and presented to the maintenance engineer, so that we know what is the belt condition without stopping the belt itself. And we will not miss out any problem. When we do a physical inspection, we can say we are efficient up to 90%, because there will be always some slips, some misses. And that is the reason we are inspecting it twice. If we can use technology, maybe we need to inspect only once, or if required, we can inspect many number of times without compromising on production. Like, we don't have to slow down the conveyor, and at will, when the belt is in good shape, we can inspect every 2-3 months, because the inspection is 100% assured. And later on, when the belt is in aged and in deteriorated state, we can increase the frequency, and in all these cases, no production will be lost. So these are two of the requirements. Another will be the unpredictable failure of poly pulleys along the cable belt conveyor, leading to stoppage of conveyor system for pulley changing. The poly rims that are there on the conveyor, they support the rope movement. Now there are horizontal curves, there are vertical curves. So in course of operation, poly rims, they do wear. And we have a manual system of inspection. Every day, people inspect the polypoly conditions, and we list out the pulleys that we need to change. If a system can be developed by technology wherein this thing can be automated without requiring human intervention, we will be able to not only find out the pulleys that require replacement immediately, but also uh, a system can be in place to monitor the rate of wear, and it can actually project the coming number of pulley changes in the next tomorrow or the next week or the days of the next week. Accordingly, we can plan the pulley changes so that there will be no eventual breakdown of a pulley which will require emergency stoppages. Occasionally, using our present method, wherein daily we inspect and at lunchtime we take a shutdown of 2 hours, we replace these pulleys. Even then, occasionally in the remaining 20 hours of operation, sometimes pulleys break and we have to stop and replace them. We need to have a system wherein we can completely eliminate this unwanted stoppage. Then going to question number, requirement number 15, wherein frequent dislodgement of cable belt conveyor along hilly terrain for various regions. I would say that because there are horizontal curves, there are vertical curves, and there are ropes and conveyors, the belt running on the ropes. Many times, if there is a pulley that breaks down, irrespective of, in spite of our best efforts of replacement and all, many times pulleys break down. And when a pulley breaks down, the rope gets out of groove, and the belt also, because of that, comes out. So in that case, the belt falls, and we have a system which detects this belt fall and stops the system, and wherein we go restore the belt, and then we run the system. But in this way, it also leads to breakdown. Like if a belt dislodges, we require maybe from 1 hours to 4 hours, depending on the amount of belt dislodgement. And many times, if two pulleys break down at the same time consecutively, the rope also goes out. In that case, rope dislodgement also takes place. So we need to have a system of monitoring wherein two things can be done. One is we can eliminate this kind of things and there will be a forewarning. Second is, in case such a thing occurs, we will be able to stop it quickly, instantly. We are looking at use of visual technology like maybe drones, maybe CCTVs, which can allow us to have an inspection in critical areas remotely. We are also looking at systems wherein as, the wear of polyrims can be monitored so that predictably critical areas, there will be the system can predict if these areas can be critical in the next 1 week or so. So these are the areas. Okay, that is one part. Second part is when there is a dislodgement that occurs, if it is particularly before a bridge, then the restoration time is very high, because on the ground, if there is a dislodgement, restoration is relatively easy, it can be done quickly. But if the dislodgement is just before a bridge or on the bridge, where people have to climb on a bridge, then the system actually slows down and it takes about 3x the time. So maybe we can look at remote monitoring system through CCTV, wherein the bridges, the areas before the bridge can be monitored constantly, so that any dislodgement that gets initiated there, the system can be stopped automatically, or somebody who is constantly monitoring can raise an alarm and the system stops, minimizing the disruptions. These are the problems related to the points 14 and 15. And I would like to take questions on that. Mr. Narayan, you said he had some questions. Kindly read out the questions again so that I can answer them. Okay, the belt that you are talking about, the belt is a very customized belt. It is a fleximat pitch offset shoe belt, wherein the belt the shoes are embedded in the belt. At the bottom of the belt, there will be shoes embedded. At the top of it, the shoes are embedded. On the shoe, the belt is mounted on the rope on the shoes. On the top, the spacing of the rope is limited less so that it can support more material. On the bottom, the shoes are molded at the edges. Actually, if you Google a offset shoe belt, you can actually see the belt construction. It is available and you will understand the belt construction. Presently, it is manufactured only by the OEM, uh, which used to be Cable Belt. Now it is a part of Metso Autotech Group. A similar kind of belt is also supplied by Messrs. JLV, who are from Australia. Other than that, to the best of our knowledge, nobody makes these belts. About the polypulleys, the polypulleys are actually, they come in split rims, steel baked split rims coated with polyurethane, and the hubs are separate. The life of a polyrim, the split rims are less than the hubs, so hubs are reused. Whenever a polyrim is worn out, we take it out and we use the hub again, and we use new rims on the hub and make the polypulley. We in India also, people have started supplying us these polyrims. The original hubs and polyrims used to be supplied from our OEM Metso Autotech and JLV. Currently, 50% of the requirement is also coming from indigenous vendors from India. I think this answers the questions of Mr. Narayanan.
Mr. Naren, I hope your question has been answered. You can please type in the chat box if you have anything else to ask. Sir, Mr. Naren has asked if they can see some operational videos of the current conveyor. Can that be made available?
Right now?
Yeah, no, maybe you can share it with us. We will share it with the.
Yes, certainly. The cable belt conveyor operating, we can upload videos. We can share it to you. Yes, and it can be shared to them.
Sure, sir. And like Mr. Mohanty had mentioned in the chat, I'll just read it out. Mr. Mohanty says that we can support it through a pilot if there are some use cases of such cameras. Would Mr. Mohanty like to elaborate that, what he has written in the chat box? In reply to Mr. Narayan's question, and we are able to develop fog penetrating cameras, lights, and radars if NALCO supports us to design and develop lenses. Would Mr. Mohanty be taking up this question and answer it directly? Yes.
Actually, we can't support towards the design or development of lenses. But yes, as we said, we had a talk with IIT Roorkee. They had a similar kind of solution wherein they use their own cameras and they use their own proprietary solution or software which can give in real time defogged images. So if you have some case studies wherein we can have a look that yes, these are successful, then we can call you for a pilot study.
Yeah, maybe a first round of piloting or something, providing them with a test bed to pilot.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
that
we
can be provided. Yes. So, Saurav, I think we had some questions. Could you please list that so that Mr. Mohanty and Mr. Panda can take up the questions?
Ma'am, there was a question. What type of support like people are expecting from NALCO in terms of mentoring and piloting? Like what can be the support specifically in mentoring and piloting as well?
Mr. Mohanty or Mr. Panda, if you can please answer the question.
Because
Yeah, for any solution, like per se, whichever things for the cable belt conveyor or from the mining equipment side, since these are very custom, the solutions will be very customized. We do not have off-the-shelf solution in the market. We have explored that. So whatever, since a solution provider will be requiring a monitoring, or we will be requiring an understanding of the issue. And yes, we will be mentoring and we will be handholding till the stage of implementation. There's no doubt on it. Yes, prior to bringing it in into the mine, we will like to have a look of the some use case studies wherein we can uh, think of it implementing.
Maybe a simulated environment, if NALCO has something of a simulated environment where they can test these and then go to the mines for piloting. If that also can be done, I think it would be beneficial for the startups. Uh, if they already
Simulation.
have use cases that can be implemented, it is good. Like if they can showcase wherein they have implemented this. But if not, if we can have a simulated environment also, maybe they can test out what they developed during this program.
Actually, simulated effects of the mine views will be quite difficult for us to replicate it. But yes, since if we can have a view of, if somebody, the solution provider can showcase its solution, then yes, from our understanding, we can consider it. But we do
Okay.
not have any simulator kind of thing, or we cannot
Or maybe,
replicate the entire
yeah,
solution.
maybe during this piloting, they can at least you can have a first round of evaluation how the startup solution is working, whether that will be beneficial or not, and that can be taken off of piloting if that can be considered.
Yeah, that can be done.
Yeah. So before we close, I would just like to read out some of the takeaways of the program, and I would also request Mr. Saurav to play the video that we had for this mining challenge program, and also please show on the board the links to apply for this program. I'll just quickly tell about the takeaways. Apart from the rewards or the components and software tools reimbursement support that we will be providing, will be providing an opportunity to pilot through our stakeholders and pilot the product for commercialization, an opportunity to do a joint R&D with corporate houses, industry, and academia, a preferential access to be given to the participants, to the selected startups, to our state of the art ESDM lab, which has advanced testing and measurement equipment, high voltage testing equipment, very domain specific software tools, including MSOs, programmable power supplies, electronic load, and other design tools. We also offer them a plug and play space, and will be providing through our partners a strategic guidance and mentoring by the industry experts, and a rapid prototyping support, along with facilitating them to for protecting their intellectual property. And we'll also offer a virtual incubation facility for outstation startups, and help them connect with the government and the industry. Uh, may I now request Saurav to please play the mining video that would bring in more uh, light to the program. Saurav, we are not able to hear the audio. If you can replay it with the audio. Thank you, Saurabh. Can you please share the link for everyone to know? Yeah, this is a contest portal, and you can apply for participating in the mining challenge program using the link as shown. And for any doubts you have, for any clarifications, please call on the numbers that is mentioned here. You can find these on our website as well, on Electropreneur Park's Bhubaneswar's website. Please revert back with any doubts that you have for this session as well as for other problem statements, and we'll be happy to take it up and provide you with the necessary clarifications. Thank you, Saurabh. I would thank Mr. Manoranjan Panda and Mr. Vikas Mohanty for their precious time and valuable inputs today. Sir, we shall also get back to you in case we have any questions from the startups during application, during applying for this program. I hope that would work out, sir. If that is okay, we shall keep you posted on the questions that we receive or any doubts that we receive during the program.
Most certainly, yes. You can definitely contact us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time today. And we expect your perennial cooperation throughout the program and post that as well. Thank you for your time today. Thank you, Mr. Mohanty. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone, for joining in. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good day.